Hey G Squad, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I made this delicious protein packed Buddha bowl. So if you're interested, please keep watching. So beautiful people, this is everything that I'm going to use to make the Buddha bowl. I may doing at some point while I'm cooking add something else to it, but we'll see. If you're not able to screenshot everything, don't worry about it because I got you. I will call it out as I'm going along. Alright, so I will see y'all at the stove, family. Alright, G Squad, so this is the tofu that I'm using. Right here, it's the firm. Make sure you get the firm tofu, okay? And so it comes in a package like this, and it has it comes in water or juice or something. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and drain this, and then we're going to go ahead and get it prepped. Alright, G Squad, so this is what the tofu looks like. And so now to give this tofu a little flavor, because it can be a little bland, we're going to create a marinade. So I'm just going to slice this in half, then move this off to the side. So now in this bowl I have 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. You can use whatever type of oil you like. Then to this I'm going to add like a half a teaspoon of some sesame oil. Okay. Also I'm going to season it with some smoked paprika. It's like a teaspoon. Also, I'm going to add like a teaspoon of complete seasoning. And just to give it a little kick, I'm going to add some hot sauce to that. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to now whisk that all together. Like so. Actually, I want to add a little more oil to this. Whoops. Add a little more. I need enough because I want to let this marinate. Okay. And then same thing, just go in and add some more seasoning. And this is optional. You can do this if you like. Again, always say make it your own. Just a little more. Okay, and actually I also want to add some garlic powder to that. Garlic powder, and why not? You know what? Let me add my, my favorite, turmeric. I love me some turmeric. Love it, love it, love it. And shout out to one of my family members who said that she, is using turmeric now. She introduced it to her life, and she loves the health benefits. So I'm so happy I was able to, bring some, something positive to your life. Bring you some info that you never knew before. Okay, so now I have that all mixed up. So what I'm going to do now is take this plastic bag, and I'm going to pour my marinade in this bag. And so now I'm going to add my tofu in there. I'm also just going to take my tofu and just, run it in this bowl to get the rest of the marinade out that didn't come out. So put that in there like so. Just get everything out. Okay, so now just coat, go in and just coat your tofu inside the bag. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to seal this bag, and I'm going to let it sit in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes to let it marinate and absorb the sauce that I made for it, and then pop back in and we'll get to cooking. Alright family, so I have my chickpeas here. I drained them and then rinsed them and just took a towel and just dried off some of the excess water. So now I'm going to season them with some garlic, a little garlic powder, just a tad bit salt, pink Himalayan salt that I'm using, some black pepper, and this is about a teaspoon each. And then I'm going to also add some of this, about a teaspoon of this chili powder. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and mix that up. Okay, so now I'm just going to sit this off to the side and allow this to marinate, and then I'm going to go ahead and season my sweet potatoes and the squash. Alright, so this is the butternut squash. I just bought it already chopped up in the package as opposed to buying the entire thing and cutting it. So now I'm going to drizzle it with some olive oil. Then I'm going to season it with some black pepper, garlic, and some garlic powder. Then same thing, I'm going to add some chili powder to this as well, and a little salt. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with my hands and just mix that up real well, like so. Mix it up real nice and good, okay? This one is a little chunky, so I'm going to cut that, make it smaller. You want to try to make sure your pieces are as even as possible so everything can cook. Finish, cooking around the same time. Okay, so that's that. I'll move that off to the side. So now I'll bring in the sweet potatoes. And I know you're saying, how do you tell the difference? They look just the same in the color. Okay, so now, same thing. We'll go ahead and with some olive oil. And this we're just going to do salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And actually, you know what? I'll do the pepper, garlic powder. I'm going to use the complete seasoning on this instead. Okay, same thing. Just go ahead in with your hands and just mix it up. Make sure you coat your potatoes, really well with the oil and the seasonings. Okay, see that? Okay. All right. So that's good to go. So I have my baking pan here, so now I'm going to go ahead and transfer my sweet potatoes to this pan, and make sure you spread your vegetables out, your potatoes out, so every potato can have its own space in order to cook. Because if not, if they're too close together, they're gonna it's gonna steam. Cause so much steam and like water, so you don't want that. Alright, so I have that in there. So now I'm gonna bring in this pan, and yes, y'all guessed it. So now on this sheet I'm gonna add my squash. Okay, And so the same thing, you just want to spread it out. Some of this squash, I see some of them are small, the pieces are smaller, so. But again, you know, I bought it pre-cut, so. Okay, so that's how they look. So now I'm going to pop both these pans in the oven. I have the oven on 420 degrees. And I'm going to let them cook for like the first 15 minutes. I'll take them out and then we're going to flip them over. Okay? Okay, family, so it's been about 20 minutes. So I'm going to take both pans out and we're going to flip our potatoes and our squash. Okay, that's the squash. And hot. And these are the potatoes. Okay, so now, like as I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and flip these over. And oh, the struggle is real. But I love what I do. Okay, let's get a fork. Okay. So this is what, oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Alright fam, so I just want to show you what it looks like. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. So that's what the side that was baking face down looks like. So as I said, I'm going to flip them over and then pop them back in the oven and then I'll see you in a minute. Okay family, so on the stove I have my skillet heat up. I put about a teaspoon of olive oil, and so now I'm going to go ahead and add my beans, my chickpeas I should say, and then I'm just going to go ahead and saute these. Alright, so I'll allow these to cook until they're nice and brown. Alright family, so these are the chickpeas came out. And so now it's also time to remove our squash and yams out of the oven. Okay. Okay. So these are our yams. And this is the squash. Okay. Alright family. That squash is so good. The potatoes are good too. We got squash. Alright family, so I have my cast iron skillet here on the stove. It's already heated up. So now I'm going to go ahead in with my tofu that has been marinating. And I'm just going to add this to the pan. Along with the marinade. And so I'm going to let this cook for about 10 minutes on each side. You know what I tell you, it smells so good in here? Alright, so I'm going to allow this to brown and then I'll pop back in when I'm ready to flip it over. Alright G Squad, so it's been about 10 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead in now and flip over our tofu. And so now I'm going to allow it to cook 10 additional minutes on this side. Okay G Squad, so it's been about another 10 minutes. So as you can see, I cut my tofu in fours. So now I'm just going to turn it face down and just let it brown for about 5 minutes. Okay family, so my tofu is just about done. So what I'm doing now, I'm just going in and I'm just cutting my blocks up into little cube size bites. and browning it as I go along. Okay. And this is why you make sure you get the firm the tofu, because it's easier to cut. Okay. Okay, family, so that's how it looks. Alright, so our tofu is done. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to saute these onions in the same pan that I just took my tofu from. I'm going to season my onion, just throw a little complete seasoning on it, since it just has everything in it: salt, pepper, herbs, and spices. So oops, I lost the onion. Pan is a little dry, so I'm just adding a little virgin oil to that. Alright, family, so this is the last thing that I needed to cook. So now we are about to assemble our Budha bowl. Alright, so I'll see you at the counter. Alright, G Squad, so here's everything for our protein bowl, our Budha bowl. So I have the onions, I have avocado here, avocado, spinach, my yams, my chickpeas, my squash. I had some leftover quinoa that I made the other day, so I'm going to add that. And then we have our tofu, okay? So I'm going to start off first. I'm going to add my spinach. Then I'm going to go ahead in and add my quinoa. And kind of neaten that up. The quinoa in there. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add some of these sweet potatoes. And my hands are clean, family. Now some chickpeas. Okay, I'm going to put some onions in next. Try to break up that color. Add some onions. Now I'm going to add some of my tofu. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the squash. Look at that prettiness, y'all. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And then add my get on your avocado. Okay, oops. Come on now. Behave. Behave. Oops. Plate is packed, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna add a couple more of those in there, just to fill in the space for presentation. Look at that, y'all. All right, let me just clean this up around and I'll pop back in. We'll wrap up this video. All right, G Squad. So that's it. This is my Budha bowl. So again, all the ingredients, we have avocado, squash, yams. I have some fresh spinach under there. I threw some quinoa in there, as well as onions, chickpeas, and tofu. Okay, so family, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, like, comment below, and please turn on your post notifications, which is that bell. You click on that and hit all, so when I upload a video, you will not miss out on the meal. And family, also one other thing, I noticed that I'm getting a lot of views. I have a lot of subscribers, but my comments are not really showing. So I don't know if you're commenting and I'm not just seeing them. But if you are and I have not responded, please know that I am not ignoring you. On my end, I can only comment on what I see, okay? So love all day, every day for you, fam. Be safe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Mwah.